What's going on, guys? Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to take a look at the Pokemon games that we've gotten on the Nintendo Switch and kind of take a look at the evolution that we've had through the open kind of areas that we've had throughout these Pokemon games, and really the way that Game Freak has changed the way that these types of games work, because I do find it kind of fascinating to look at what we used to have and what we're about to get now with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now real quick before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Opera GX. Opera GX is a special web browser that is made just for gamers, and it comes with so many helpful features that I think a lot of people would really enjoy. You've got this awesome GX control panel, which lets you control so many different elements from your browser. You've got this network limiter switch here to kind of control the internet usage of your web browser so you don't encounter a lot of lag inside of your online games. You've even got a RAM limiter switch here, as well as a CPU limiter switch to kind of reduce the strain that your computer has from the browser itself, and that way you can run a lot of kind of other intensive applications like video editing ones and things like that, so you don't have to worry about the browser taking so much of your computer's power. But really, my favorite feature out of this entire browser is just having social media embedded right into the browser itself. If I click on this little Twitter icon right here, it just opens up my Twitter, and it's so cool because I can just browse through tweets right here, like tweets if I need to, and it's just so cool having access to Twitter right away from my browser itself. I can even click on this little Discord icon right here and open up my Discord server where I can see what people are talking about there. So it's just really helpful to have a whole bunch of these features, and I mean, this browser has so many more that I haven't even talked about. There's even like this music player here where you can access music from Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, like so many other different types of things like that if you want to just play music and listen to that through the browser. So it's just a really awesome browser, and I definitely think a lot of people would really enjoy it. So if you are interested in checking out this browser, there's even a mobile version for it as well, so definitely consider taking a look at it from the link below in the description or the pinned comment. And thank you so much again to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Now, if we think about Game Freak making Pokemon games for the Nintendo Switch, it's honestly hard to believe that they've been developing Pokemon games on the system for half a decade now, where if we think about it, in 2017, some of you guys might remember, was when we got the first ever announcement at E3 that Game Freak had begun working on a core RPG Pokemon title for the Nintendo Switch. And this was kind of the really exciting news that everybody was kind of really hoping to see, because at this time in 2017, some of you guys might remember, there was a Pokemon Direct that happened, and everybody was really hoping for a Pokemon title to finally happen for the Nintendo Switch. And then they announced Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. So a lot of people were just kind of disappointed that there were still going to be Pokemon games for the 3DS. But then Game Freak finally announced that they are working on a brand new core RPG title that's coming to the Switch, which we later got as Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Now, these games I definitely would say have a mixed reception among fans. Some people really like them and some people don't find them all that exciting, but I definitely do feel that a big reason for that was kind of just seeing all the other big adventure games that were already on the Nintendo Switch after Pokemon Sword and Shield were out. So like we already saw like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was this incredible open adventure Zelda experience, and even like RPG titles like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was this beautiful looking amazing kind of game like that as well. So kind of just seeing Pokemon Sword and Shield come out like that, it really did make a lot of people seem like this wasn't the big kind of console level Pokemon game that they were excited for all of these years. But despite all of that, something that Pokemon Sword and Shield did introduce for the very first time within the main series Pokemon games was something known as the Wild Area. Now, this wild area was Game Freak finally dipping their toes into trying to have an open type of area for a main series Pokemon game. And of course, the wild area is pretty bare bones, like we're not going to deny that it doesn't really look the best, but it did finally give camera control for the first time in a main series Pokemon game, where you could move the camera in a 360-degree fashion and kind of go in any direction that you felt like. But it was really kind of just this one big kind of chunk of the region that was in this open area, and it had different kind of biomes where you could kind of go and find like a snowy area or an area where it was raining and encounter different Pokemon. So it was kind of cool to just see wild Pokemon roaming in the overworld and kind of just seeing this open area where you really didn't have a set path, but you could freely kind of just go wherever you wanted to for the first time. Now, a few years after Pokemon Sword and Shield, we finally got the next evolution in terms of Game Freak trying to have a more open type of Pokemon area, and that was of course with Pokemon Legends Arceus and the Hisui region. Now, the Hisui region was definitely the next evolution for Game Freak after Sword and Shield, and it felt like it was basically a bunch of wild areas that were mashed together into this one region, where you basically had the Hisui region that was made up of having separate loading zones that were a part of these giant open areas, and each area definitely felt distinct and unique to itself. You had like the Obsidian Fieldlands, for example, which was like this grassy introductory area where you could still encounter many different types of strong Pokemon, but then you had like these mountainous areas where there were like rocks to climb and caves to explore. You had these snowy types of areas where there were lots of snow and kind of Pokemon that were hiding throughout that. So it was just really cool to kind of see all of these different biomes that were a part of this game, and kind of seeing all of these different areas, because every single one of these areas was significantly bigger than the wild area from Pokemon Sword and Shield, and having these different types of loading zones was really cool because you could finally go into which open area that you wanted to after leaving the hub area, which was in Jubilife Village. Now, these areas also had more things to do in them. You could gather materials, break objects to find more items, catch and battle Pokemon, ride on Pokemon and explore the world, and it just definitely felt much more alive. And now it's crazy to imagine that we're getting another massive Pokemon title within the same year, but now we're going to be getting Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is kind of really the true evolution that I would say from Game Freak, starting all the way back with the wild area inside of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now we're finally getting a brand new generation of Pokemon, which is going to be completely open world. So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are the first ever Pokemon games that are going to be completely open world, allowing you to go in any direction that you want as soon as you start your journey, and you pretty much have no path that is dictated to you, and you can really go wherever you choose. And if you want to explore, you can do that. If you want to find more towns and cities and things, you could also go for that, and it really lets you kind of weave the story that you want at your own pace. And so I definitely do feel like that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is finally going to be like the culmination of Game Freak trying to have a more open type of Pokemon experience. We went from one little kind of wild area to having multiple wild areas within loading zones and separate areas within an entire region, to finally getting the first ever completely open world Pokemon game where the entire region is just going to be this one giant open area where everything is already going to be loaded and everything seamlessly blends in with the towns and cities and the wild areas, and you can kind of just go wherever you choose to. And so we already know that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are going to have 3 different stories, and you're able to choose whichever one you want to focus on. So I am looking forward to seeing exactly how you can do that and how much freedom you really get to have inside of this open world Pokemon game for the first time, because it's finally going to feel like you really do have this entire vast region to finally be able to do whatever you want. And so yeah, there you go guys, that is pretty much the evolution of Game Freak, making more open kind of experiences for main series Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch. And it honestly is kind of just crazy that 3 years ago, we just had this very bare bones wild area where you finally could move the camera in any direction that you want, to going into having multiple loading zones in the Hisui region and having kind of a more open area, to finally getting an entire brand new region that's completely open world with the freedom to go wherever you want. And I am excited to see how they make it work within Generation 9. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, then definitely be sure to click that like button and also comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this. How do you guys feel about Game Freak's evolution in making more open types of Pokemon experiences? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Pokemon content in the future, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.